But let's start with the forecast right now. So let's get to our weather team. We have Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman and Dylan Federico standing by. Dylan, I want to start with you. This storm looks very large now on Wind Doppler 3X. What are you noticing as far as the track just in the past 45 minutes to an hour?
Yeah, things are evolving and the storm is beginning to intensify once again. We're seeing those signs on satellite and on radar. So looking at the big picture here, there's Hurricane Ian now entering the southeastern Gulf of Mexico. Out ahead of it, lots of heavy rain bands, which will be working their way up into the state of Florida over the next day or so. With that, the flood threat, along with the tornado threat, will be increasing here as well. But let's talk about Ian's eye, because there are some new developments. The first thing I want you to notice is, in the past couple of hours, a lot of lightning strikes in that eye wall. That is associated with a strengthening hurricane. So Ian is likely resumed intensifying and conditions are very favorable. So this will likely end up becoming a Category 4 hurricane in short order. Another thing to notice, over the past several hours, Ian has been moving generally towards the northeast. It's clear as day on radar. You can see that motion towards the northeast, and this is more easterly than what the Hurricane Center has been forecasting. Let me show you the track with the eye. You can see the eye is clearly running to the right once again with that track. So as long as Ian keeps on moving further east than expected, this means that we are at a greater risk of a direct strike from a major hurricane here in southwest Florida in just a little over 24 hours from now. So if you live in southwest Florida, especially Charlotte, Lee, and Collier County, you need to be preparing for a major hurricane. If you live along the coast, substantial storm surge does look more and more likely, so please heed those evacuation orders. So we're going to keep on watching this trend, but it's clear as day. This eye is running to the east of that track and shows no signs of resuming a northward motion at the moment. So it does look like Ian has made the turn towards southwest Florida. Here's the latest information from the National Hurricane Center, Category 3 hurricane. But like I was saying, the eye is clearing out. There's lightning in the eye wall, so the hurricane is intensifying. Either way, forecasted to become a Category 4 hurricane and then move into Florida heading into tomorrow night. Zooming in on that cone, let's time this out. You can see Ian going to be just offshore tomorrow morning as a powerful Category 4 hurricane. National Hurricane Center has shifted that track to the east, calling for a Category 3 hurricane to make landfall in Sarasota County on Wednesday night. 125-mile-per-hour winds, so just below Category 4 intensity. I do want you to notice, though, the cone has shifted east as well, and that includes Fort Myers. That means that a direct hit here cannot be ruled out. So here's the latest visible satellite, and I want you to see the eye is cleared out substantially over just the past few hours. So you can see those mesovortices swirling around there. That is associated with a very powerful hurricane. Only the strongest of hurricanes do that. And just looking at this on satellite, this tells me that Ian is intensifying once again, and I do think this will be a Category 4 in short order. We'll get the planes out there and find out. Either way, the computer models have been shifting to the east. The consensus model right over coastal Charlotte and Sarasota County, with a few more extending down into Lee County. So bottom line is we are expecting the core of Hurricane Ian to push somewhere between Tampa and Fort Myers heading into tomorrow night, which means we're going to see substantial impacts here in southwest Florida. So here's the warnings. Hurricane warning in effect for DeSoto County, Charlotte County, and Lee County. This means that you will get a hurricane in these counties. You will experience hurricane conditions. So even if you don't see the eye, you will get winds of over 75 miles per hour. So do not hesitate to put those shutters up. I will say, though, the rest of the area is under a hurricane watch now, which tells me that the Hurricane Center could expand those hurricane warnings southward and inland later on today, especially if those eastward trends do continue. So everybody in southwest Florida needs to be ready ready to experience a strong hurricane heading into tomorrow. Another thing with the latest track updates with Ian, the National Hurricane Center has once again increased the storm surge forecast for Southwest Florida. They're now calling for 8 to 12 feet of surge for Charlotte County and Lee County, including up the Caloosahatchee. So if you live in a storm surge zone, especially from Lee County northward, you need to take these evacuation orders very seriously. And the thing you have to consider too is that Ian is coming in at a different angle than Irma. So if you did not see flooding in Irma, you will likely see storm surge flooding from Ian. It is a very large hurricane, and because of that slowing motion towards landfall, it's going to have a lot of time to pile up that water along the coast. And with that being said, I am concerned about water piling up in the Caloosahatchee, so places like downtown Fort Myers will be at a greater risk for storm surge as well. We'll have another look at Ian coming up. Back to you.